Like I had a list of 100 things that I wanted to find in my girl, right? So guess what? She has 96 of them. It's okay to fail, right?
Absolutely.
Instagram makes you think you cannot fail, but you should understand that failing is part of the growth process. And that's what people do. They're like, oh yeah, self-audit, yeah. And they go like this, self-audit, I see my head. No, bro. If you just get a mentor and you just look at the mentor and you'll see the mirror here, you're like, holy shit. Today we're gonna talk about how to attract the one.
Like a girl?
Yeah, or a business partner. It can be anything. You gotta attract the right person to your life. So how do you attract the right one when it comes to business, when it comes to a relationship? And it's funny because I found an amazing person in my life, whether it was business partnership and also in my personal life. But if you really think about it, you don't choose your mom and dad.
You don't.
They kind of choose you, you know what I'm saying? God basically says, here's your mom, here's your dad, and here are your siblings. You don't really choose that. But you can't choose who you want to do business with. You can't choose who you want to be a partner to, a spouse to, right? So one of the things that I've learned is that a lot of people, this is my opinion, a lot of people are searching and yearning to find the one, especially in a relationship, right? We could talk about, this works for both, by the way, relationships or business partners, right? But they keep yearning for this amazing person to come by and they want to be with, they don't want to spend the rest of their life with them, build a business, whatever it may be. And what they don't realize is that you don't have to find it. What you do have to understand is you have to find yourself. See, if you understand that the law states this, you will only bring into your life who you are destined to have into your life. Meaning you're never going to have someone that's not a good fit for you. Meaning who you are today is who you're going to attract. So if you're a garbage person, you're going to meet some garbage people. If you're an amazing person, you're going to meet amazing people. So if you think about the partners you met in your life, why did you meet them? I remember when I was younger, I met girls that were not for me. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people. What I'm saying is that you're going to meet the energy level of that individual. So if you're an angry individual, you're going to meet someone at that energy level. If you're a very happy person, you're going to meet someone at that energy level. And it's crazy because the more you work on yourself, the better you become. Instead of trying to find the one, you have to learn to become the one. And many people, they're not willing to become the one because they're always searching for where's the one, where's the one, where's the one to fulfill them.
I mean, that made me think just now as well, like as you are working on yourself, then because you're changing as a person, let's say someone that maybe would have walked into your life with that different energy, or maybe that energy you used to carry in the past, you're no longer that. So now you could differentiate that and then say no to that.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to learn that who you are today, think about it. If you're trying to find your right spouse, right business partner, right? Who are you? What are you about? What are some characteristics and qualities you bring to the table that says, you know what, that person's going to want to be with you? See, a lot of people have this list. Oh, I want. Very few people actually have this, but the ones that are smart have a list and say, this is what I'm looking for in a partner or a business partner. You have to have the same list. Like, you can't just say, I want a business partner. No, like, what kind of business partner do you need? What are some skill sets that you bring to the table, right? Who are you? And what are some deficiencies you have in your business that you want to actually bring a partner in, right? So it's the same concept as bringing in a spouse into your life. What kind of person are you looking for? And then you have to look back at that list and say, holy shit. Like I had a list of 100 things that I wanted to find in my girl, right?
It's crazy. It's a long list.
It's a long list. And guess what? She has 96 of them. And the other 3 or 4 are things that are so minute that you'd be like, it's not a big deal. I'll give you an example. Like one of the things that she didn't have was live within 25 miles within my area. I mean, it just happened, but it wasn't important enough. Those 4 things were not as important.
Not like non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables, right? So for me, 96 qualities and characteristics of a human being that I wanted, I built out on a piece of paper. But while I was building that out, I was telling myself, okay, out of those 100 things, who am I today? And is this person that I am today going to be able to attract this kind of person? Would this person that has 100 of these things or 90 of these things, would they attract a person like me into their life? Would they accept a person like me in their life? And the answer was, I need to work on myself. And that's when I started to work on myself.
So you don't think someone can come across somebody that can actually help them improve like drastically?
You can, but
those are just like specific
You
scenarios?
can, but if you're 30 years old or 25 years old or 35 years old, you're still looking and searching, and at the end of the day, you got to become the one. It's much easier to become the one to attract the one. I'm not saying that if you're 18 years old, you're not going to find them, but you are that person that maybe you're both trying to become the one together. That can happen too, right? Anybody can be your soulmate if you really think about it. There's no such thing as one soulmate in the world, right? When you become the right soul, you'll attract that soul that's specific for that kind of person. How do you change your soul? How do you change who you are? Changing your mindset, changing your personality, changing your character, changing your habits, changing who you are as an individual. And by the way, it is possible to change. It's hard, it's challenging, and many don't. Right? Or they do change in a negative way, but you can do it, in my opinion.
It reminds me of that quote that somebody told me once. It was, if you chase the butterfly is going to fly away. But if you build a garden, right? You put in that work, you make the garden, what happens? All
gotta-
the butterflies start coming to
You
the
gotta
garden.
be the garden.
Exactly.
The question is, what are you building in your mindset and your skill set? What are you building in your life that's saying, you know what, this kind of person would want to be with me? This is the same concept for business. A lot of y'all think it's different. No, it's the same thing. There's different business partners you can have in your life. Right? There's a lot of soulmates in your business life. The question is, how will you attract them, right? Are those people, the ones that you're trying to attract, would they want to be with a kind of person like you? For example, let's say work ethic is one of the things that are important, right?
Yeah.
So you say, I want to find someone that's ambitious. Question is, are you as ambitious as them? Are you willing to put in the nights, the weekends? Like right now, it's nighttime. We're fucking recording, right?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do that and sacrifice some time?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they're not willing to do that. They just want to find someone that has the things that they want, but they're not willing to bring that to the table. You got to think of it this way. Why would that person want to do business with me?
Yeah.
Why would that person want to be with me? Why would they want to stay with me? No one is obliged to be loyal to you.
Yeah.
You have to bring some value to the table. I was talking to one of my managers the other day. I was like, listen, we need to get good at building the culture in our company. I don't care if somebody leaves.
Yeah.
But if I want to make such an amazing culture that if they do leave, that they look around in the marketplace and say, holy shit, nothing's great, I want to come right back.
Yeah.
And a lot of them do come back because they realize that the grass is not always greener out there. But I want to build an amazing culture where people understand that, wow, what we have is special.
Yeah.
So you need to build your garden, like you said.
I know you've had a lot of scenarios. I mean, you've built a bunch of teams, especially in the sales industry and all that. Have you come across where like you've maybe thought there was a specific partner that would be right for you in
Of
terms
course.
of a business partner or something, but then you just felt they were dragging you on?
Of course. I made that mistake many times. It's part of the business. You make mistakes. You say, you know what? I like this person. It's also in hiring. You think they're an amazing skill set, they have amazing experience, whatever it may be, great character. All of a sudden, 2 weeks later, you find that they have an L in their forehead. You don't know that. So, but as you become more experienced and better at asking the right questions early on to identify these things, you can start gauging who's a good business partner and who's not. You see, I got involved in a lot of relationships when I was younger, in my 20s, with the wrong people, not because they're bad people, because they were not a right fit for me at that time.
Yeah.
Right? And as I got older, as I started getting more mature and understanding the right questions I need to ask to figure out, is this kind of person going to be a good mix for a Michael Barayev?
Yeah.
Michael Barayev has a set of boundaries, a set of characteristics, a set of personality traits that may not be a good fit for this individual. And what I like or what I want is not a good fit for me.
Have you ever laid out like your strengths, your weaknesses to see if you can find like a partnership where it's like, okay, I'm bad at this, but he's good at this?
Absolutely,
Right.
you need that. So it's called a SWOT analysis, right? Your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. You got to know your strengths. You got to know your weaknesses. You got to know the opportunities. You got to know the threats that are actually happening in your business. Right? It's called a SWOT analysis. Most people in business should know that, right? But you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses in terms of relationships and business ownership and partnerships, because you're not if you have a partnership, right? In my opinion, whether it's husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, business owners, doesn't matter. You don't want them to have the same skill sets, right? It's a waste to have the same skill set for two different people. You want to be good at one thing, I want to be good at nothing. The reason why is because I want you to focus on this part of the business, I'm going to go focus on this part of the business. I trust you to do your part, you trust me to do your part. This doesn't mean I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It just means that you're just better at that than I am, and you enjoy it more than I do, so you can focus on that part. It's the same thing in a relationship, right? There might be certain things that I'm really good at, and the other person may not be really good at. And you want to work on, okay, what are your roles, what are my roles? And generally speaking, a male has a little bit of a different role than a female. Now, sometimes it's switched a little bit in different relationships, but you got to figure out what are those roles. In my family, my role is to go out there and provide. This doesn't mean that my fiance, my girl, my wife cannot do that.
Yeah.
It just means that I'm the sole provider, and if they want to go provide for themselves and make a little bit, couple dollars, or make more of it, that's fine. But the main goal of my role is to make sure there's providing on the table.
Yeah.
Right? So protection. I don't expect my wife or my girlfriend to protect me, right? I need to protect the family. My job is to be, okay, where do I live? Be cognizant of where we're going, what time we're driving, whatever, all these different things. So it doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. It just means you need to be aware of what each partner's roles are.
Definitely. I think a lot of people don't know what their partner's roles are and stuff like that.
I think a lot of people don't even know their own fucking roles.
Very true. Very
Like
true.
what are you gonna do in a relationship? Just make love and have kids? Like that's not the whole purpose of that.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, the grand scheme of things is to reproduce, but you want to understand that this is a life you want to build with someone, whether it's a business or life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people make this mistake of, they think that the other person is going to fulfill them or complete them or help them in their business somehow.
Yeah.
Listen, you're not going to find completion like that.
Yeah.
You need to be complete yourself and want to find a partner that you want to run with.
Yeah.
That's what business is about also, right? I'm not looking for someone to complete me. I'm looking for someone that I can run with.
Yeah. You think the girl in a relationship could be the breadwinner?
Can she?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's a good idea is a question, right? So can she do it? Absolutely.
Do you think
is
it's
it
a
a good
good
idea?
idea? Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it makes the woman a little bit more masculine. For example, like, my girl, she's amazing, and, she focuses on her business, but I can see, like, whenever she's doing business meetings or talking to business people, whatever, like, her personality changes a tad bit to a little bit of a masculine energy. A little bit, a tad bit. A little more stern, a little more firm, like, because that's what you need to do in business, right? So I can see that, but I'm like, okay, imagine she was like that all day, 24/7. I'm like, ugh. Because I like a woman to be sweet, soft, and gentle during the daytime, right? As an example. So some girls, they forget to turn on and off that switch when they're in the business mode. So they go in business mode and work, and they come home and they're in business mode with their husband or the girl or boyfriend, and the boyfriend's like, damn, bro, what the fuck did I marry, right? So I think that naturally a woman's nature is to nurture, right? Which is why they have breasts, to nurture the kid, to focus on feeding the baby, right? So their whole role is to nurture. Our whole goal is to what? Hunt, gather, right? Protect and provide and preach and do all those things. So I think that if both partners focus on those two dynamics, they bring it together to complete each other in a household. And that happens the same thing in business. There's hunters and there's producers in business, right? There's hunters and there's gatherers, right? So the hunters, their job is to go hunt, attack, get business, clients, leads, generate everything, bring it in. The gatherers, their job is to maintain everything. Right? Make sure the farm is doing good. Make sure the business is doing good. Make sure the systems are there. Make sure the SOPs, everything's kind of in control and controlled in that industry, in that business, in that house, whatever it may be. So there's always going to be two sides to that story. There's going to be producers, hunters. They're going to go out there and hunt. And there's always going to be the ones that are gatherers that kind of keep everything calm and collected and control the whole process.
Yeah. Do you think men have stepped down from that role as a provider, like in today's society?
I think so. I think they get a little bit, I don't know if it's just the right word, but demasculized. Is that even the right word? Like they kind of get put down a lot for wanting to be that man, for wanting to provide, for wanting to be that person. So a lot of men are like, why should I go out there and try to provide and try to do all this when the woman's like feminism and freedom for the woman rights? And I'm not against that. I'm like, just do your thing. But what I'm about is why not just have unity and do it the way that it's supposed to be for thousands of years how it's been. It's not old school. It's the way that you're genetically built, right? So like as much as I want to do, I can't give my baby my tit. There's no milk there. I cannot do that. It's just not part of my biology, right?
Of course.
So a lot of people are trying to switch that and say, oh, we could do that. No, you can't. That's not your job. My job is not to nurture. Even if I try, it's not my thing. Now, can I still help out on the house and help? Yeah, of course, but that's not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is focus on the things that you need to focus on. Make it a safe environment for your family. Make it a safe environment for your people, for your business people, whatever it may be, and let other people do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Right? Let people stay in their roles. Imagine a CEO getting involved with what CFO does. Like CFO does his shit, numbers, tracking, all that bullshit. CEO does a completely different aspect of the business.
You're with a partner now, and you guys have been dating for a bit. You really love her. It seems like things are going very far. Do you feel like you started doing certain actions that you weren't doing before to attract her into your life?
100%. One of the things that I did was I had a spiritual coach and I had an emotional coach, right? So you want to call them a therapist, you want to call them a rabbi, whatever you want to call them, right? So you have to have those coaches to help you identify the weaknesses you have in your life. So for me, my weaknesses at that time were emotional and a little bit of spiritual. So I needed some help and some guidance in that area, right? So I was like, okay, I needed to hire them. I did that and I worked on myself on these specific areas. As I was doing that, I was able to attract the right person because otherwise I would have never attracted an individual. I would have never attracted an individual because the things that I needed to learn and understand about my emotions, about emotional intelligence, about connecting with other people, how to love somebody, how to let someone in your life, how to date properly, I did not understand that, right? Because I came from a very toxic situation before that. Not that I was incapable of learning, I just didn't have the tools.
Yeah.
So I needed the right tools to say, okay, how do you do this the right way? How do you actually be vulnerable with a woman? Because a lot of guys say, oh, you cannot be vulnerable with women. I mean, that's not true. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be open to them. You have to be open and understanding to them. Otherwise, they're not going to trust you. And if there's no trust, there's no relationship. So you have to be a velvet covered brick with the woman that you're with. What I've learned is that I needed to work on those specific areas that were my weaknesses and work on them. And as I was working on them, eventually 12 months later, boom, I meet the right person. So it wasn't because I was such an amazing guy. No, because I was working on myself in those areas that I knew that I had weaknesses in. And if you work on yourself, if you become the one, you will attract the one in your life, whether it's business or relationship.
I think that's part of respecting yourself, and I think one of the hardest things to do for yourself is doing a self-audit.
Oh yeah, you got to be self-aware. I mean, if you think that, see, a lot of people want to blame the world for every issue.
Yeah. Or they live in denial, you know?
They live in denial, but you have to look internally. What are the challenges you have inside of your head? inside of your life, inside of your, like, what are you doing wrong? Like, for example, I'll give you an example. I wanted to have a six-pack. The last couple of weeks, I realized, like, you know what? I want to really get a six-pack like crazy. I did it for a little bit years ago when I had a six-pack, right?
Yeah.
And I basically was, calculating my macros, my nutrients, calories, all that shit. And I was like, I don't want to do that, scale, chicken, rice, all that bullshit. I just didn't want to do it,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I was like, you know what? I have to really know my calorie intake, because if I want to burn a little bit of fat,
Right.
I don't know how much I'm taking in, how much. It's a math problem,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's a
an
math
equation.
problem. As I let's do it. So 2 weeks ago I started, 3 weeks ago I started, right? And I'm shredding down like crazy. I had a great body this whole time, but I just want to make it like another level,
Yeah.
right? Because last May I had a great body in May, because I went to Thailand, I shredded, but I want to make it like crazy, where someone goes like, damn, are you okay? Like I wanted to say you have a steroid body. If they say I have a steroid body, I did the right thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I want to do it, right? Without the steroids, of course. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you gotta do a self-audit.
Yeah.
Like why was I not where I want to be? Because I wasn't willing to do the work. You got to figure out what's stopping you from becoming the one. What are some things you need to work on? And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's trying to be perfect on social media.
Yeah.
I'm the last perfect person on the planet.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, more people are more perfect than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be perfect. That's not my agenda. I don't give a shit. I make mistakes on the podcast. I make a mistake in business. I make a mistake in my life. I say stupid shit. I say dumb stuff. Oops. Like it happens. And I'm okay with that because I am a human being and I live okay with those mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm okay with failing.
Yeah.
I love to fail. I love to make the mistakes. I'm like, okay, shit, figure it out. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are so afraid of making a mistake and they want to project to the world that they're perfect, but in reality, they're broken on the inside. So it's very, 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 very important to what? Work on yourself and be open with those mistakes. It's okay. No one's gonna, and if they do judge you, let them be a judge. Learn, accept the responsibility you need to take and work on yourself. That's the best investment you can do is working on yourself because that's gonna attract the right people in your life. Our job is to connect ourselves to the creator, the source, and really understand the power of God and try to emulate him as much as possible. The more you will like the creator, the more you can create the life you want to create.
Yeah.
Because the creator is what created this world. You have to, our job is to emulate him. We have a piece of him. So we have to emulate him.
Yeah.
Right? So and how do you emulate him? Learning about him, understanding about him.
No, of course, that's a big part. But yeah, I was just thinking about basically like if you don't check yourself, right?
You're going to wreck yourself.
Yeah, life is gonna wreck you, man. Like you gotta do that self-audit and all that, but also made me think, like, at least for me back in the day, like, I have an older brother who's also like very big on personal growth journey and all that stuff, which as you become a man and you get older, you start realizing like all these things that you maybe thought was mumbo jumbo, you're like, oh no.
No, this shit's real, bro. This shit's real. You work on yourself, you're gonna, and you're not gonna see the results right away.
Yeah.
It takes time.
100%.
Like everybody wants to go to the gym for 2 weeks and say, you know what, is my abs there? Bro, give it 6 months, okay?
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time to see the big difference and big results. And it's the best investment. You're the best investment. What else are you gonna do? All the money in the world, everything doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The one thing you will always be proud of is not how much money you make, but how amazing you have become as a human being.
Yeah, and that leads to the other point I was gonna say. It's like my brother would always tell me, and then I started hearing this throughout other entrepreneurs and business people, but he was always like, dude, you gotta recreate yourself. And I'm like, recreate yourself? I'm like, what kind of garbage is that, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna turn into something? Like, I'm gonna, like transform? Am I a Pokemon, evolve into? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it completely starts with that self-audit, so that way you can recreate yourself. What would you tell somebody listening to this who has my opinion, or not my opinion, but had my opinion of like, what do you mean by recreating yourself? Because they don't understand what it takes to get to that next level.
Very simple. Are you happy with where you are? If the answer is no, then you need to change something. You gotta change. How are you going to change? You need to have some help. You can't do it by yourself. Self-audit, I think it's very easy to say self-audit, but I think you need a mentor plus a self-audit. You need someone to guide you in that process that sees it from an aerial view because you don't see the problems as well as someone else does. I have a quick question for you. Can you see the back of your head? No, you can't. The only way you can see the back of your head is through help. Oh, I can see it with the mirror. Help, right? You need a mirror to help you. And what is that mirror? Now, you can sit there and try to see it by yourself, all this shit, but you got to find the right mirror, right? It's got to be big enough so you can see the back of it, right? But the answer is very simple. You can't just do it with one mirror.
Yeah.
You need what? You need 2 mirrors. Because you can't see it unless you what? Have another mirror pointing back. So you need that mentor and a self-audit. And that's what people do. They're like, oh yeah, self-audit, yeah. And they go like this, self-audit, I see my head.
Yeah.
No, bro. If you just get a mentor and you just look at the mentor and you'll see the mirror here, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I see the back of my head.
Yeah.
What do we need to fix? And that's the analogy I like to use.
Yeah.
Right? It's very simple. You cannot see the back of your head by yourself.
But break down a little bit what exactly like recreating yourself looks like, because again, a lot of people might be like, "What do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
how can I just change? I'm not gonna change into a pear." You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
no,
Like,
no, no. Write down
it's
the
like
things that you like about
your
yourself.
habits, your all this.
Write down
like,
the things you like about yourself.
Yeah.
Then write the things that you actually do not like about yourself, or other people say, "Hey, you need to work on it." Because sometimes, you know, your family, friends, and everyone's like, "Yo, you need to, you lazy, you lazy, you lazy, you lazy." They keep saying that. It's not because they hate you. Maybe you are lazy.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the case. Or they say, "You're too loud, you're too loud, you're too loud." Maybe you are too loud. You need to calm down. I don't know what it is. Whatever those things are, and I look at them and say, "Okay, if I was to remove this trait, or I would add it in a different way, I'll make it even better. So instead of removing laziness, I would add more work ethic. Would my life get better?" The answer is yes. Awesome. I need to work on this. You start working on those little traits and habits that you have and those characteristics.
Yeah.
Certain things you cannot remove. If you stutter, can you change that? Maybe.
Yeah.
There's people that have changed that, but I wouldn't focus on the things that are so deeply rooted in you. Work on the easy stuff first.
Yeah.
Right? Like, for example, let's say you wake up 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock every single day, and you need to wake up at 9 as an example, or 8. Focus on small things. But you got to figure out what are those things you need to change. And then you need to have someone say, "Hey, mentor, coach, friend, older brother, someone that's faster than you, sharper than you, better than you," right? You don't have to pay them. Say, "Hey, listen, 2 minutes, I love you to death. What do you think I need to work on? What are some things you think I need to work on?" Ask 5 people that you trust and like and respect. I promise you they'll give you a shit ton of shit. And that's how you recreate. How do you recreate? You add and remove certain things, and you're creating a new image of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? By visualizing that new image, that new person that you're going to be.
Yeah.
And now comes the fun part. Work. Wake up on time. Do this on time. Do this. XYZ. Mix this. Mix that. Do this. Do that. You miss it one day. You fail. Don't be guilty. Don't eat yourself. Don't put yourself in the garbage. Work on it day in and day out. You have a plan and executing the plan.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, you look back and like, holy shit. I'm not screaming anymore.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I'm not an angry person anymore. Holy shit, I don't need to, go to the gym anymore at 10 o'clock at night. Go to the gym at freaking 7 in the morning. Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You start recreating the person that you are. You're changing the individual that you are in a good way. You're always going to be growing, my friend, or you're always going to be dying. Pick one. You cannot just stay in the middle. Nobody's stagnating right now. Nobody is stagnating.
Exactly.
You're either growing or you're decaying.
Exactly.
And if you don't do anything about it, intentionally growing, you're going to decay. So when you become the one intentionally, you attract the one, business-wise and relationship-wise.
Because that person that, will be attracted to you then isn't attracted to the person you are now.
100%.
It's not that Michael's turning into Mark. It's that
Michael's turning into the 2.0 version of himself.
Exactly.
That's the mindset.
Exactly.
Is Michael Barayev at 33 better than the Michael at 25 and better than the Michael at 20?
Exactly.
Is the Michael at 45 going to be better than the Michael today? Absolutely. Yeah. And that is the key about making your decisions to either go this way in life or that way.
I love what you said about, looking for a coach or for a mentor, but yeah, you don't even have to pay somebody.
Sometimes you may have to, because at the end of the day, the best of the best coaches are going to cost a little bit of time, because that's what they specialize in. For example, if you want to go to do therapy with your mom, she may do it for free, but you may need to go to a specialist.
Yeah. But I made that point out. I like that you said that, just because some people are very afraid to ask just for advice in general. Obviously, you don't want to ask someone that's like not in the position you want to be in, or some, if you have a friend that's just like
embarrassing.
A pothead or a junkie or whatever, obviously you don't want to go to those people. But you can't be shy to ask. Like, a lot of people are scared to ask questions to whether it's their loved ones or
because they're afraid of embarrassment. And being afraid of embarrassment is more holding you back so much because you're afraid of being embarrassed. And what I want to say, if the only thing you heard today was one thing, listen to this. Go challenge yourself and see how many times you can get embarrassed the next day. Yesterday, I started jiu-jitsu, right? For the first time, I was trying to think about doing jiu-jitsu. I was like, let me try this out, right? Because I've been doing Muay Thai for a while.
Yeah.
And I went to do jiu-jitsu. And it's embarrassing getting fucked. Like, this was like, tap, tap, tap. I mean, this is what the process, right? Yeah. Someone that's, he's not even a fucking blue belt.
Yeah.
Right? He's way ahead of me, but guess what? Tap, 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 tap. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm new. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I'm doing it for 10 years, maybe I'll be embarrassed. And that's what you guys think. Oh, I've been living my entire life for 25 years. No, man. It's a new version of yourself. You're a newbie. It's okay. It's okay to be embarrassed. It's okay to be it's okay to fail.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Instagram makes you think you cannot fail. But you should understand that failing is part of the growth process. And a lot of times these Instagram people, they're not showing you the failures. They're really not. That's why I was thinking about making a series of just like every day what I failed today at. Yeah. Today's my biggest failure.
You only see the highlights.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about their mistakes. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. If you love this kind of content, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.